How's it going, everyone? It is Andre Williams, and over here we talk stocks and we focus on one thing. Always protect your profits. And today we're going to be talking about Lucid. It ended up being down almost 1.90% on the day. We also had the CPI data that came out. I was talking about this on the weekend, so seeing a pullback today wasn't surprising whatsoever. But there are some more details that we need to talk about. I won't waste any more time. Let's jump into the agenda. If you're new to this channel, I just want to let you know we have timestamps down below inside the description. But if you're a shareholder, you're thinking about taking a position, I highly suggest you watch this full entire video. So the first thing we're going to go over is the technical analysis. We're going to be taking a look at the overall price action. We want to know support. We want to know resistance. We want to know what it looks like in the bearish case scenario and as well as in the bullish case scenario. And then we're going to be going on Fintel, taking a look at the recent institutional ownership and short interest information. The reason why this is important because it does have an impact on the way the stock performs. And then we're going to be taking a look at the order flow distribution. We want to know the buying and the selling behavior on the retail side and as well as on the institutional side. And then when all of that is done, we'll be going into the final thoughts and as well as some more details. So let's get to it. So we're going to do a technical analysis for Lucid. Let's see how it performed on the day. So it ended up closing at $21.29, being down 1.89%. On the low, it tested $21.10, and then on the high, testing $22.69. When we take a look at the volume stats on the day, you can see we traded at 21.782 million shares, and the average volume over 10 trading days is at 19.006 million shares. So we did have above average volume on the day. You could tell we dealt with a good amount of selling pressure. Now, when we take a look at our chart, which is a daily chart, you can see from the RSI down below, it is at 36.17. And then when we take a look at our moving averages here on the chart, we are below the 100-day, the 200-day, the 50-day, and as well as the 21-day EMA. And it's clear to see that Lucid has been in a bear market. It is trading below all of our major moving averages, and it's continuing to see that selling pressure. And if you guys remember what I said in my previous video with the CPI numbers that would be coming out, it's not surprising we had a red day, right? And as far as for Lucid is concerned, if we continue to see weakness in the markets, I want to see it get down to the $20 range. One area that you might want to see some support actually hold up, have some more buyers stepping in, will be at $20.52. If we don't have any buyers stepping in here, this is where Lucid could fall below $20. So that's one thing you want to keep in mind. As far as for the resistance that we had on the day, it was at $22.69. So if you're looking for a reversal, then Lucid needs to come back to the 21-day EMA, which is right at $24.03. And if it can hold $24.03, that's where you want to see it make a move to 25 and being able to hold support there. Now let's move on to the short interest information. So we're going to take a look at the recent institutional ownership and short interest information for Lucid. So scrolling down on the page, green rows indicate new positions, while red rows indicate closed positions. So when we take a look at the recent filings for April the 12th, we have Eaton Vance Management that purchased 17 shares. We also have Householder Group Estate that purchased 9,224 shares. And we also see for the 11th, we have New Advisory Services LLC that purchased 614 shares, and then we have a few closed positions as well. Now, when we take a look at the short interest, the off-exchange short volume ratio is at 60.33%, and then for the off-exchange short volume, it is just over 4.41 million shares. Scrolling down further on the page, the short shares availability is at 70,000, updated 12 minutes ago, and then for the short borrow fee rate, it is at 4.14%. When we take a look at the history of the short volume, we can see for the close of the 8th, it was at 64.58. And then for the close of the 11th, being at 60.33. So taking all of these numbers into consideration and seeing the short interest percentage of the float being at 18.70%, Lucid does continue to have short squeeze potential. Now let's move on to the order flow distribution. Now let's take a look at the order flow distribution for Lucid. So we see on the inflow, it was at 58.63, and then on the outflow, it was at 87.14. Keep in mind these numbers are in the millions, so we had an outflow day. Taking a look at the breakdown, on the large it was 0, on the medium it was 35.69, and then on the small it is 22.94. Taking a look at the outflow side, you can see on the large it was 6.29, on the medium it was 53.39, and then on the small it is 27.46. Taking a look at the large scale orders in the last 5 days, you can see for April the 12th, which is today, we had a negative outflow of 6.29 million, and then on the 11th we had a negative outflow of 7.15 million. Analyzing the numbers even further for the small scale orders that tends to represent the retail side, we had more selling than we had buying. And then when we take a look at what happened on the medium, we had more selling than we had buying. And then when we take a look at the largest represents whales, institutions, and funds, we had more selling than we had buying. And then when we take a look at the turnover ratio, it was at 1.32%. So this continues to be a consistent range for Lucid. Many are holding on to their position, but with the conditions that we have inside of the markets, there is some selling pressure that is happening. And we could see this on the retail side and as well as for the large scale orders. So now let's move on to the final thoughts and we'll go over some more details as well. So for my final thoughts for Lucid, before we get started, let's go over the recent update that came out today. Lucid stock is rising. A new model EV car and higher deliveries are fueling the bulls. Lucid stock is rising because the electric vehicle startup is delivering more cars. Ramping up production and deliveries is key for Lucid in 2022, but Tuesday's delivery news shouldn't qualify as a surprise. There was, however, another tidbit in Tuesday's announcement that might matter more to shares. Lucid says it has begun delivering the Lucid Air Grand Touring model. That good, but not unexpected news. The company also announced a new vehicle, the Grand Touring Performance model, which comes with 1,050 horsepower. The combination of new products along with deliveries is helping shares. Lucid shares are up 3.4% in early trading Tuesday. Of course, as we got closer to the end of the day, there is some selling, so it couldn't hold up. The Lucid Air Grand Touring Performance answers the strong demand we continue to see for higher performance versions of the Lucid Air, said CEO Peter Rawlinson in the company's news release. The remarkable speed with which we are able to conceive and bring this model to market is possible only because of Lucid's high degree of vertical integration and in-house production of our proprietary EV powertrain and battery pack technology. It's an impressive car. It's also expensive. The Grand Touring Performance version will run customers about $180,000. Not many people can afford that. Lucid is expected to deliver roughly 13,000 cars in 2022. The new model probably doesn't change any full year delivery expectations. Lucid didn't immediately return a request for comment about volumes. The performance version should start shipping this summer. So this is definitely some great news for Lucid, and many were saying this is supposed to be a strong catalyst that can help the stock finish green on the day. But we also can't ignore what's happening in the market. Even though we did get this news in regards to the new model and improvements in deliveries, that is just not enough. And that's why we're going to go straight into the price action. I was telling you, if Lucid stays trading below 22.50, it is going to struggle, and that just continues. So the next levels that you want to look out for is seeing Lucid come down to the $20 range. I'd want to see support hold up at around $20.50. If it breaks this level, then there's a high likelihood that Lucid will visit the $19 area. So if you are a long-term investor, I would definitely be keeping an eye on this to play out. If you're looking for a bullish reversal now, then Lucid needs to get back to $24. The moment it gets back to 24, you know it needs to get to 25 and build support. And upon building that support, the next level is around 27.50. But a move like that, I am not seeing this for the coming week. It could just continue to consolidate, but I do see it getting into the $20 range. Also, when we went on Fintel, taking a look at the recent institutional ownership, we've been seeing there's continued interest amongst institutions. And then when we took a look at the short interest information, it does continue to have short squeeze potential. So that's why you want to keep a very close eye on this play. And since there's many shorts who are in it, I would say if we have a strong day inside of the market and they come up with a bigger catalyst, then this stock can make moves to the upside very quickly. And that's why you keep it on your radar. Do your homework, do your due diligence. Many opportunities in the markets that we're currently in. And since the CPI did come out just a tick above expectations, I would be not too worried about that because I feel like we're kind of peaking because it was taking into consideration March. And we already know that the Feds are going to be hawkish. So let's see if Lucid could hold above $20.50. But if not, you already know what it looks like. So I hope you enjoyed this video and we'll be talking real soon.